The Stalker, an urban fantasy thriller by Minnette Meador. Chapter 1. From the Shadows. A faint laugh echoed against the steel I-beam ceilings. A man's laugh. Or was it? Belle pirouetted on the hard asphalt. Her hips warmed when they hit the hot side of her car. She squinted at the blinking fluorescent lights. They stuttered against the garage in fitful illumination. "Hello?" The word echoed back to her unaccompanied, sending pins and needles through her hand as it tightened on the strap of her purse. Belle's senses sharpened almost painfully. The metal key biting into the flesh of her palm, the blood slamming against her eardrums. A gust of fear rushed through her spine, setting her ears ringing, preparing her to fight, or maybe run. Instincts. The word pulsed through her thoughts quickly. She pushed her head forward, straining to listen, trying to penetrate the shadows to locate that chilling laugh. Instead, all she heard was the tick-tick-tick of her engine cooling and the muted hiss of silence. Was it real? A moment of doubt made her step away from the car. She stared at the oily surface of the garage floor, mesmerized. The scuffed blacktop triggered a memory. A pale hand coiled around her face, clamped hard against her lips and nose, cutting off her oxygen. She desperately bit, clawed, and fought, but nothing loosened that unnatural grip. It clung to her face like an iron mask. Belle squeezed her eyes tight, willing the memory to go away. She knew the deeply masculine violation had permanently infected her confidence. There was nothing she could do about it. Uncertainty was her constant confidant. She had to pull strength from a deep will to fight the trembling. It's just a memory. A memory can't hurt you. The mantra lost juice in the silence. Even with a year of therapy and all her martial arts training, a cold chill still ran through Belle in this eerie-ass garage. The attack was a year ago today, wasn't it? She knew anniversaries sometimes triggered memories, but knowing that didn't help. Broken lights deposited black shadows in one corner. Peering into the darkness, Belle fancied she saw two beaming pins of white, like eyes. Another blaze of recall weakened her knees. Sliding backwards on broken heels into the shadows, she was a rag doll in his arms. Belle shook her head violently to dislodge the flashback and deliberately rushed toward an elevator. They seemed to fall away from her as she moved. Frozen bumps formed on her neck. Ripples of static tingled against her face, electrifying her hair until it danced. A sweet, smoky smell enveloped her senses. His smell. She couldn't move, wouldn't move. A kind of desire pushed through her, forcing her to comply. Her body went limp in his embrace, as if he had opened her soul and thrust himself inside her. Pulling in a shaking breath, she scanned the solid concrete pillars as she moved and found the exact spot where John had stood that night, hoping that memory would expel the others. Her ears rang with the sound of a stranger's voice bouncing against the concrete. "Hey, you! What the hell do you think you're—" The monster dropped her. Her tailbone snapped, sending waves of nausea through her bowels. She threw up and curled into a ball of shock. Everything fizzled like an alien balloon into black. Now, from out of the shadows around her, another sound eclipsed the laugh. Belle. Her feet and heart stopped simultaneously. Fire rose in her cheek and the back of her hands. The whispered word was soft, haunting, close. Ice wrapped around her spine. "Who's there?" she demanded. But only silence answered.